Hey, good morning. Happy Sunday. Happy day to sleep in a little bit. By a little bit, I mean quite a bit. Oh my goodness. Y'all, can I just tell you, I'm a little lame this morning. I worked out yesterday pretty hard. I pushed myself more than I usually do. Or I should say, what is going on? More than I have in the past because I can actually exercise now and not die. I almost die, but I don't die. And in the past, I've died. It's been impossible to keep up with exercises before, but now that I'm losing weight and I have more stamina, I'm able to exercise more. So I ended up doing over an hour of cardio yesterday, which is a lot for me. And I didn't even mean to do an hour, it just happened. So, anywho, I'm sore this morning. And it took me a little bit. It took me an hour after my alarm went off. Actually, it took me 2 hours. I dozed back off, and then when it was time to actually get up out of the bed, it was a significant effort to get upright and get out of the bed. I'm a little lame this morning. Oh my gosh. All right. Let's go. February 13th, building the ark. Exodus 37, 1 through 9, 1446 or 1280 BC. Next, Bezalel made the ark of acacia wood, a sacred chest 45 inches long, 27 inches wide, and 27 inches high. He overlaid it inside and outside with pure gold, and he ran a molding of gold all around it. He cast 4 gold rings and attached them to its 4 feet, 2 rings on each side. Then he made poles from acacia wood and overlaid them with gold. He inserted the poles into the rings at the sides of the ark to carry it. Then he made the ark's cover, the place of atonement, from pure gold. It was 45 inches long and 27 inches wide. He made 2 cherubim from hammered gold and placed them on the 2 ends of the atonement cover. He molded the cherubim on each end of the atonement cover, making it 1 piece of gold. The cherubim faced each other and looked down on the atonement cover, with their wings spread above it. They protected it. Building the table, Exodus 37, 10 through 16. Then Bezalel made the table of acacia wood, 36 inches long, 18 inches wide, and 27 inches high. He overlaid it with pure gold and ran a gold molding around the edge. He decorated it with a 3-inch border all around and then ran a gold molding along the border. Then he cast 4 gold rings for the table and attached them to the 4 corners next to the 4 legs. The rings were attached near the border to hold the poles that were used to carry the table. He made these poles from acacia wood and overlaid them with gold. Then he made special containers of pure gold for the table, bowls, ladles, jars, and pitchers to be used in pouring out liquid offerings. Building the lampstand, Exodus 37, 17 through 24. Then Bezalel made the lampstand of pure hammered gold. He made the entire lampstand and its decorations of 1 piece, the base, center stem, and lamp cups, buds, and petals. The lampstand had 6 branches going out from the center stem, 3 on each side. Each of the 6 branches had 3 lamp cups shaped like almond blossoms, complete with buds and petals. I bet this was beautiful. The center stem of the lampstand was crafted with 4 lamp cups shaped like almond blossoms, complete with buds and petals. There was an almond bud beneath each pair of branches where the 6 branches extended from the center stem, all made of 1 piece. The almond buds and branches were all of 1 piece with the center stem, and they were all hammered from pure gold. He also made 7 lamps for the lampstand, lamp snuffers and trays, all of pure gold. The entire lampstand, along with its accessories, was made from 75 pounds of pure gold. Do you ever wonder where they found all that gold? Where was all that gold? Where does gold even come from? I have no idea. If I knew, maybe I'd know where they found that, but I don't know. I have no idea. Building the incense altar, Exodus 37, 25 through 29. Then Bezalel made the incense altar of acacia wood. It was 18 inches square and 36 inches high, with horns at the center carved from the same piece of wood as the altar itself. He overlaid the top, sides, horns of the altar with pure gold, and he ran gold molding around the entire altar. He made 2 rings and attached them to the opposite sides of the altar below the gold molding to hold the carrying poles. He made the poles of acacia wood and overlaid them with gold. Then he made the sacred anointing oil and fragrant incense using the techniques of a skilled incense maker. Building the altar of burnt offering, Exodus 38, 1-7. Next, Bezalel used the acacia wood to construct the square altar of burnt offering. It was 7.5 feet wide, 7.5 feet long, and 4.5 feet high. He made horns for each of its 4 corners so that the horns of the altar were all one piece. He overlaid the altar with bronze. Then he made all the altar utensils of bronze, the ash buckets, shovels, basins, meat forks, and fire pans. Next, he made a bronze grating and installed it halfway down the sides of the altar, under the ledge. He cast 4 rings and attached them to the corners of bronze grating to hold the carrying poles. He made the poles from acacia wood, overlaid them with bronze, and he inserted the poles through the rings on the sides of the altar. The altar was hollow and was made from planks. Building the wash basin, Exodus 38:8. Bezalel made the bronze wash basin and its bronze stand from bronze mirrors, donated by the women who served at the entrance of the tabernacle. Building the courtyard, Exodus 38, 9-20. Then Bezalel made the courtyard, which was enclosed with curtains made of finely woven linen. On the south side, the curtain was 150 feet long. They were held up by 20 posts set securely in 20 bronze basins. He hung the curtains with silver hooks and rings. He made similar set of curtains for the north side, 150 feet of curtains held up by 20 posts set securely in bronze bases. He hung the curtains with silver hooks and rings. The curtains on the west end of the courtyard were 75 feet long, hung with silver hooks and rings, supported by 10 posts set into 10 basins. The east end, the front, was also 75 feet long. The courtyard entrance was on the east end, flanked by 2 curtains. The curtain on the right side was 22.5 feet long, and it was supported by 3 posts set into 3 basins. The curtain on the left side was also 22.5 feet long and was supported by 3 posts and 3 set of bases. All the curtains used in the courtyard were made of finely woven linen. Each post had a bronze base, and all the hooks and rings were silver. The top of the posts of the courtyard were overlaid with silver, and the rings to hold up the curtains were made of silver. He made the curtain for the entrance to the courtyard of finely woven linen, and he decorated it with beautiful embroidery in blue, purple, and scarlet thread. It was 30 feet long, and its height was 7.5 feet, just like the curtains of the courtyard walls. It was supported by 4 posts, each set securely in its own bronze bases. The top of the posts were overlaid with silver, and the hooks and rings were also made of silver. All the tent pegs used in the tabernacle in the courtyard were made of bronze. If you really stop and picture that in your head, and how absolutely gorgeous that must have been, and the work, it's not like they ran to Walmart and picked up finely woven linen and, silver shower rings and hung it. All handcrafted, they had to make their own linen, and the work that went into just making one section of linen, and look how much they made. Like, I can't wrap my head around the work that went behind this. Inventory of materials, Exodus 38, 21-31. This is an inventory of the materials used in the building of the tabernacle of the covenant. The Levites compiled the figures as Moses directed, and Ithamar, son of Aaron, the priest, served as a recorder. Bezalel, son of Uri, grandson of Hur, of the tribe of Judah, made everything just as the Lord had commanded Moses. He was assisted by Oholiab, son of Ahisamach, of the tribe of Dan, a craftsman, expert at engraving, designing, and embroidering with blue, purple, and scarlet thread on fine linen cloth. The people brought special offerings of gold, totaling 2,193 pounds, as measured by the weight of the sanctuary shekel. This gold was used throughout the tabernacle. The whole community of Israel gave 7,545 pounds of silver, as measured by the weight of the sanctuary shekel. The silver came from the tax collected from each man registered by the census. The tax is 1 bekah, which is half a shekel, based on the sanctuary shekel. The tax was collected from 603,550 men who had reached their 20th birthday. The 100 bases for the frames of the sanctuary walls and for the posts supporting the inner curtain required 7,500 pounds of silver and about 75 pounds for each base. The remaining 45 pounds of silver was used to make the hooks and rings to overlay the top of the posts. The people also brought as special offerings 5,310 pounds of bronze, which was used for casting the bases for the posts at the entrance of the tabernacle, and for the bronze altar with its bronze grating and all the altar utensils. Bronze was also used to make the bases for the posts that supported the curtains around the courtyard, the base for the curtain of the courtyard, and all the tent pegs of the tabernacle and the courtyard. Clothing for the priests, Exodus 39:1. The craftsmen made beautiful and sacred garments of blue, purple, and scarlet cloth, clothing for Aaron to wear while ministering in the holy place, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. Making the ephod, Exodus 39, 2-7. Bezalel made the ephod of finely woven linen and embroidered it with gold, and with blue, purple, and scarlet thread. He made gold thread by hammering out thin sheets of gold and by cutting it into fine strands. Can you imagine the work that went into that? With great skill and care, he worked it into fine linen with blue, purple, and scarlet thread. The ephod consisted of 2 pieces, front and back, joined at the shoulders with 2 shoulder pieces. The decorative sash was made of the same materials, finely woven linen, embroidered with gold and blue and purple and scarlet thread, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. They mounted the 2 onyx stones in settings of gold filigree, the 2 stones engraved with the names of the tribe of Israel, just as a seal is engraved. He fastened these stones on the shoulder pieces of the ephod as a reminder that the priests represent the people of Israel. All of this was done just as the Lord had commanded. Making the chest piece, Exodus 39, 8-21. Bezalel made the chest piece with great skill and care. He made it to match the ephod, using finely woven linen, embroidered with gold and blue, purple, and scarlet thread. He made the chest piece of a single piece of cloth, folded to form a pouch 9 inches square. They mounted 4 rows of gemstones on it. The first row contained red carnelian, a pale blue peridot, and an emerald. The second row contained turquoise, a blue lapis lazuli, and white moonstone. The third row contained an orange jacinth, and agate, and purple amethyst. The fourth row contained a blue-green beryl, an onyx, and green jasper. All these stones were set in gold filigree. Each stone represented one of the 12 sons of Israel, and the name of that tribe was engraved on it like a seal. To attach the chest piece to the ephod, they made braided cords of pure gold thread. They made 2 settings of gold filigree and 2 gold rings and attached them to the top corners of the chest piece. They tied the 2 gold cords to the ring on the chest piece. They tied the other ends of the cords to the gold settings on the shoulder pieces of the ephod. Then they made 2 more gold rings and attached them to the inside edges of the chest piece next to the ephod. Then they made 2 more gold rings and attached them to the front of the ephod, below the shoulder pieces, just above the knot where the decorative sash was fastened to the ephod. They attached the bottom rings of the chest piece to the rings on the ephod with blue cords. In this way, the chest piece was held securely to the ephod above the decorative sash. All this was done just as the Lord had commanded Moses. Additional clothing for priests, Exodus 39, 22-31. Bezalel made the robe that is worn with an ephod from the single piece of blue woven cloth, with an opening for Aaron's head in the middle of it. The opening was reinforced with a woven collar so it would not tear. They made pomegranates of blue, purple, and scarlet yarn and attached them to the hem of the robe. They also made bells of pure gold and placed them between the pomegranates along the hem of the robe, with bells and pomegranates alternating all around the hem. This robe was to be worn whenever the priest ministered before the Lord, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. They made tunics for Aaron and his son from fine linen cloth. The turban and the special head coverings were made of fine linen, and the undergarments were also made of finely woven linen. The sashes were made of finely woven linen and embroidered with blue, purple, and scarlet thread, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. Finally, they made the sacred medallion, the badge of holiness, of pure gold. They engraved it like a seal with these words, "Holy to the Lord." They attached the medallion with a blue cord to Aaron's turban, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. Okay. Let's do Trim Healthy Inspirations, or Trim Healthy Mama, 100 Days of Inspiration. We are on day 44. Okay, He won't let you go. We live in a hurting world. You, too, may have been bruised in your spirit by your parents, your husband, or other people in your life. Jesus understands what it means to be bruised because He was bruised for you. Isaiah 53:5. He is the one who heals the brokenhearted. Isaiah 61:1. If you are bruised and feel you cannot cope with life, remember that Jesus Christ wants to make you whole again. Speaking of Jesus, Isaiah 42:3 says, "A bruised reed shall not break, and a smoking flax he shall not quench." A reed is a weak and fragile plant at any time, especially a bruised reed. He will never crush you in your weakness. He will only heal you and make you strong. He will take you from being crushed reed to make you a sturdy tree of righteousness, the planting of the Lord, that he might be glorified. He will make you as tall and strong and enduring as the cedars of Lebanon. What about the smoking flax? Is the fire that once shone brightly in your heart gone out? Or maybe it is barely smoldering. Will you let him come into your life and stir up the smoldering flames again? He wants you to burn brightly for him. Because Jesus Christ lives within us by his Spirit, this should also be our attitude towards others too. We can bruise our husband and our children with hurtful words. We can dampen the flame in our hearts by careless and negative words. Let's be like Jesus and be a flame igniter, not an extinguisher. Nancy. Are you trendy? Have you considered going grain-free because the wisdom of man says this is best for your health, since Grok the caveman did not eat grains? Do you think meat and dairy acidify the body and fill your arteries with plaque because some doctor said so? Yes, certain people have real allergies and have to be dairy-free or gluten, but throwing out gluten and dairy these days is all the rage. We agree that processed, hybridized bread is not healthy for the body, but there are many wonderful ancient grains that God gave as a gift to us. He ate them himself when he walked among men. He broke bread, people. Trends are constantly changing, and time reveals their flaws. God gave all the food groups in Deuteronomy 32:13. Let's stand firm on the word that never changes and be thankful for all the food groups. The truth it does not change with the fleeting whims of man. Mark 13:31 reminds us that heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away. Serene and Pearl. I want non-fans too. A speaker at church today said before you make fans, you must have Jesus as your fan. He was speaking about how some Christian leaders in the music industry support things that aren't very Christian. How can God bless their ministry if they are against him? Fame can be a serious thing. Many people desire it, but they don't realize how much more pressure one has when they have thousands looking upon them. They become either a role model or a bad example. My uncle is the manager of the Newsboys, and my Nana is the founder of a worldwide magazine ministry, Above Rubies. I watched some of my closest friends get record deals, and I've watched my mom become a best-selling author. Now that I am aspiring to be an author and a songwriter, I know what to expect. Every business or celebrity wants to have fans. I do too, but I also want to have non-fans, or I'll feel like I never stood up for anything. I don't want to win the respect of those who completely disagree with me. I expect many people to hate what I believe, and I can handle that. Fame should not be something we seek for our pride. It should be used as a tool to win hearts to the Lord, and that can only be done when Jesus is your fan. Meadow. Okay. Thanks for joining me this morning, you guys. I hope you have a blessed Sunday. I hope you enjoy a day of rest and preparation. Preparation for the week ahead. I'm going to do a little bit of food prep. I'm going to try to get some rest in, get some things done, but also get some chill time today. I hope you all have a blessed day. And yeah, that's all I have to say about that. I love you all. Thanks for joining. See you tomorrow.